Fact number 11. So funny about fact number 10 because I've never been in a fight before. I've tried to be in a fight before because I was really immature and super prideful, and I was like, wait, you can talk shit about my friends? Don't talk shit about my friends. And no one ever did anything. And then there was another time where girls were talking shit about me and I'm like, what? You can talk shit about me? You can talk shit about me? But then nothing ever happened. So, never been in a fight before. I would like to be in a fight. I think that'd be a really cool experience, but it doesn't happen. Fact number 12. I had my first boyfriend ever in life when I was 15 years old, and it was like the most awkward thing ever. We would never hold hands. All it really was, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? Okay. Do you want to be my boyfriend? Sure. And then we never talked. Like, we were never together on campus. Like, he would probably pace, like, I think he would like play football or something during recess. And then me and my best friend, I only had one best friend, or actually I only had one friend in junior high, and like all we would do was just play like card games. Like, we would play this game called Super Poker, and then like I would see him on the field and I was like, that's my boyfriend. And then that was it. Like, that was the extent of our relationship. Like, we never kissed, we never held hands. It was quite awkward. Fact number 13. I used to play guitar, piano, flute, mandolin, and I think that was it. I am fortunate enough that I never had parents that really pressured me to do anything, like one specific thing. They were never like, oh, you gotta learn piano, or you gotta do this, or you gotta do that, or you gotta do whatever. I was always into like the arts and stuff, so I always danced, I always like played music, I drew a lot, but my parents were never like sticklers for me like completing something. So that's kind of good because then I got to explore and try a lot of different things, but it kind of sucked because now I don't know how to do jack shit. I don't know how to play any specific instrument. I don't dance anymore. I don't know how to draw any certain way. But yeah, I mean, I can say I used to do these things. Fact number 14. Animals pretty much rule my life, specifically dogs. Like, I love dogs. I've rescued like over like 20 dogs in my lifetime. And I've found them homes and whatnot, and I think about 50% of those I've kept, and I drove my mom crazy because anytime I would find, like, if it's like a stray rat, or like I've had a rat before. It was like, okay, more like a mouse. There was a mouse out in our front yard when I was like really small, and I caught it and I'm like, Mom, look what I found. And my mom was just like freaking out, like, what the hell are you doing? You can't have this in the house. But anything that I would come across, I would like rescue it and keep it. And I was like, what are you doing? You can't just keep everything you see. But I'm like, it needs a home. Who's gonna take care of it? Its mom's not here. So like my whole life, I've been a sucker for animals. And currently I have 3 dogs. 2 have been rescues. Every time I see a stray dog, like I have to force myself not to look and be like, oh my god, he needs a home, and then bring it in. That's kind of how we found Brown too, actually. We saw Brown walking on the side of the street. We're like, hey puppy, come in our car. And he just jumped in, and ever since then, Joe has kept him and made him his son. So, I love animals, specifically dogs. Fact number 15. I'm number 3 of 4 kids. I have an older sister, an older brother, and a younger sister. Me and my older sister, there's about a 15-year gap difference, and then me and my older brother, it's a 10-year gap difference, and then me and my little sister, it's a 6-year gap difference. So I'm not too close with any of them, and we're like completely different, like completely different. I don't even think we look the same. I always question my mom, and I'm like, are you sure these are my brothers and sisters? Or are you sure that my dad's my real dad? Because I don't look like any of these people, but they're cool. Fact number 1, 5, 1, that equals 16. I've always had long hair my whole life. In our culture, they say that the girl looks youthful and beautiful when she has long hair. So my whole life, I had no control over how my hair looked, and I've always had it long. And I remember when I was like 18, I was like, hey mom, can I please cut my hair now, please? I was like, no, you can't cut your hair, you can't cut your hair. So like, I've always wanted to cut my hair, and as soon as I could, at the age of 21, I chopped it all off. And then I was like, cool, this feels so freeing. And then I let it grow back long again, and then that's when I went crazy, and you guys saw I did shave the shit out of it, and now I have like this dyke look. But it's cool. I think that's where it kind of comes from though, like my parents always saying like, you can't do this, you can't do this. So now anytime I can, I'm like, I'm just gonna fuck with my hair today. Let's see, maybe I'll just burn it or something, I don't know. Fact number 17. I only have 1 tattoo in my entire body, and it means absolutely nothing. So that tattoo's here. I got this when I was 20 something, I forgot how old I was, but in my 20s, I got this tattoo. And it means it has no meaning to it. All it is just collection of art on my body, and I think I'm going to continue doing that because I think people put way too much pressure on themselves, talking about like, oh, this got to mean this has to be this is supposed to mean that, and I don't know, I just see it as a collection of art. So yeah, one tattoo, art collector, me. Back to number 18. I was finally courageous enough to move out of my house when I was 23. Again, in my culture, if you guys haven't picked up on it, they're very controlling, and they're all about like preserving youth, and they're all about leaving your house with like dignity and pride and blah blah blah. My parents were completely against the idea of me moving out on my own because they were like, hey, you're not supposed to move out of your house unless you're married. Like, if you want to be a dignified young lady, you move out when you're married. And I was like, well, maybe that made sense back in the 1800s, but now I think I'm a pretty smart person. I think, I don't know, I know I'm a stupid dad. I was like, yeah, I think it's time. I think I need to move out at 23. So I did. I lived with like 4 other girls, and it was like the best decision of my life. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just knew I didn't want to live at home anymore because, I don't know, it just felt very like small-minded for me. So I was like, alright parents, I love you guys. I appreciate the fact that you guys did an amazing job raising me and provided for me, but peace. Fact number 19. I've always been kind of crazy my whole life, and I'm all about experiences and trying new things, and just as long as it doesn't damage myself or like I don't harm myself or harm anyone else, I'm gonna try it. I got kind of piercing crazy, so when I was 19 I got my first piercing, and it was in my